Hello, Garifos has just linked this to me. Massive Blizzard leak. Big update for Warcraft 3 coming. So back to Warcraft, I have a video here. With patch 2.0 being leaked, Blizzard's secret project to get the game up and running so they can sell it to us again. Hooray!
Warcraft 3 Reforged is getting patch 2.0. This bombshell of a news broke this morning, and this video will explain what happened. Can we be hopeful? What's this going to be?
Oh, here comes the copium, boys.
And what is happening at Blizzard and Activision and Microsoft that can maybe give us some copium. So let's start at the beginning. What is up? This morning, it was all over the Discords, it was all over the socials. There has been a leak. Not really a leak, but some identification. There is a tool called Bliss Tracker, which is scanning the BattleNet for updates to all the different Blizzard games. And this is how we know that there's a PTR coming, a general patch coming.
Thank you.
Today, we got this. New
Warcraft 3 public test realm. That is unusual. I'll grant you that. Is this Microsoft finally stepping up and saying, yo, we've done all these definitive editions of these great games. I'm currently playing through them on my other YouTube channel, youtube.com/WTiiWarcraft. Check that out. Playing Age of Empires 3 currently, and I went through Age of Mythology Retold, which is fantastic as well. So they can do something like that with Warcraft 3. I'll be down for that.
Warcraft 3 public test realm internal W3D version detected from 1.35 to 2.0. So this is something that has not happened in a long time. It is a PTR, and you know these PTR changes when we get balance updates, but what is noticeable here is that it's the W3D version. That is not for public. That is the developer's version. As you can see, this was updated the last time on patch 1.35, which has been a long time. So when you go to the PTR that we can also use, you launch at the normal menu, and then you're greeted with this. A new update is available for download. Please download it now. New build version B.
So wait, what did he say? He said you go to the PTR.
You launch at the normal menu. That a long time. So when you go to the PTR that we can also use, you launch at the normal menu, and then you're greeted with this. A new update is available for download.
So that's what he sees. Let's see if we see the same thing. He's right. Update required. A new update is available for download. Please download it now. New build version B. I suspect it doesn't work though if you try to do it. Yeah, it probably just comes out of the game.
Please download it now. New build version B. If you click the download button, the game closes, nothing downloads, we can't access it, so we don't know what it is. But it is certainly something is happening behind the scenes. And while we don't know and can't access it, we can make some educated guesses, and I want to explain them all to you. So,
all right. There is a lot of hopium and copium, but in all fairness, this is pretty big because you don't normally get anything like this. This isn't just like Blizzard popping in and saying, hey, yo, let's do a balance update because that's the biggest, best, easiest update we can do, which doesn't actually require any real work. So let's just make Footman do 1 more damage. Let's make Towers do 2 less damage. Let's make Thrall in the campaign have 5 less movement speed. Okay, patch done. See you later, rather than actually fixing any problems with Reforged or actually changing any UI and etc, etc. So this is something that could actually do something. You remember we had that survey a long time ago where they talking about sort of what you would want to see from Reforged, like what are the highest priorities. It could really be a case that they will actually try to develop something along those lines. I still am slightly skeptical though, because the majority of people do just want Warcraft 3. They don't want Reforged. So I know there's people out there that work on Reforged. I've played the Reforged maps as well, and it's very respectable. But at the end of the day, like the vast majority would just rather live in a world where Warcraft 3 just didn't really get Reforged and just had updated resolution to the graphics, but they were the exact same graphics, except just higher fidelity. And obviously quality of life features that go with it. But how did they do this where they... I don't know. Are they still just going to try to invest into Reforged? Because it's just like that, I don't think is going to really sell big. So
let's start with the version number. Look, this might just be semantics, but as I said, this is something that hasn't happened before. The jump from 1.35 to 2.0. Because these are all the patches in Warcraft 3. And you see, obviously, it started with 1.0 in Reign of Chaos. Even Frozen Throne didn't get the 2.0 treatment, which was like 20 years ago. So semantics were a little bit different. But even Reforged wasn't called 2.0. It was called 1.32.0. So this alone is indicating that something big is happening, and this is not just your regular patch. Our changes had the double-digit patch updates from 1.32 to 1.33, etc. There was also a third digit, which was like a minor patch, and then we go to the fourth digit. That has been like minor balance changes and stuff that we have seen in the past couple of months. So when we look at other games, though, a version update this big is indicating an add-on. Let's look at StarCraft. Wings of Liberty 1.0. Heart of the Swarm 2.0. Legacy of the Void 3.0. Then later on, they updated the version with some bigger updates as well. So it doesn't have to be an add-on, obviously. But we see the same pattern in World of Warcraft. We've just seen it last week with Vessel of Hatred in Diablo 3. So changing the version number is gigantic at Blizzard, and this is what's coming for us.
I like the idea that is all they do. And then they just re-release Reforged and try to sell it again. It just has a bigger number now. It's like BattleNet 2.0. It's not necessarily a good thing, right? BattleNet 2.0 was not good. So we had the original BattleNet, which had like the cool sort of features that you would have when you log into Warcraft 3, clans and the chat rooms and all of this kind of neat stuff. You could check old multiplayer leaderboards and stuff like that with a click of a button. The interaction was always there. And then we got BattleNet 2.0, which is kind of very stilted and weird. Like you couldn't really socialize properly on it, even though it was probably the idea that they were supposed to do.
So many people might have forgotten, but in January of 2023, there's been a survey by Blizzard sent out to the users of Warcraft 3, and it was like, are you still playing this game? How satisfied are you? Would you be playing again? What makes you not play the game?
Let's have a quick look. Custom campaigns, Reforged, environment art rework, Reforged campaign improvements, clans, global custom games, legacy, Warcraft 3 art, in-game update, ranked play, player profiles, tournaments, revamp, observer mode, storage size reduction, 30 gig, leaderboards, player reporting. So yeah, I remember going through this, and the one and main one that I wanted was Legacy Warcraft 3 in-game art update. I'm not really interested in anything that supposedly improves Reforged. The only aspect of Reforged that I found interesting was from a custom campaign perspective, which has already been implemented by Chronicles of the Second War and the Warcraft 3 Reforged campaign, as well as other projects that are doing a good job utilizing that engine, because it can tell a story in an environment where frame rate, lag, clunkiness, just the blech of Reforged is having far less of an impact on the player's enjoyability of the game. But I don't want Reforged for multiplayer or my custom games, really, other than just like an RPG, you know, where it's just like single player. It's not a threat to anyone.
And there was also the question, of how appealing are these specific features of Warcraft 3 Reforged, indicating that there's going to be improvements, there is some stuff to work on, and maybe this survey from January 2023 is giving us an idea what's coming. Because from this list, a lot of stuff has already been implemented. Custom campaigns are in. Ranked play is in. Profiles, tournaments, observer mode, leaderboards, reporting. It's all in the game. But what has clearly not been updating in the past couple of years is especially the visuals. Reforged environment art rework, UI UX revamp, legacy Warcraft 3 in-game art update, and also the campaign improvements. It was rather a development back to former state. But maybe something like this is coming. The missing pieces from the survey are coming to the game. That is an indicator that we could lean on. So why now? What is happening? Why is this game that has very little monetary value getting an assumably big update? The biggest update since the failed Reforged launch? Well, as you might know, Warcraft 3, Activision and Blizzard and King have been merged with Microsoft. It's one of the biggest merger in all of gaming. So Microsoft is known to take good care of their classic games, especially in RTS. And we don't have to look any further than the Age of Empires series. Age of Empires got the definitive edition, an upgrade. It looks amazing. It is one of the most popular RTSs to date. They constantly develop it. There's constantly updates. And just recently, they even updated Age of Mythology that hasn't seen anything like it in
Would recommend.
almost also
Very
20 years. Looks familiar. 2002. Age of Mythology release, also the Warcraft 3 release, and it now got an update.
So, quick note on this. Again, what they do is really good. They take the game, they give it a nice coat of paint, and they give you lots of quality of life features with stuff to do inside the game for multiplayer and single player. A great way to tell the story, once again, without hampering what made the original great. What Reforged did was basically just ignore what made the original Warcraft 3 great and then go down this crazy art direction that doesn't honestly even really look that much like Warcraft, in my opinion. So this is why I don't really want anything to do with Reforged, because I don't think it represents Warcraft at all. So if they do this, leave Reforged out of it. But how do you do that? Because Reforged is already baked into it. So are they forced to work on the Reforged assets? I don't care about the Reforged. Fuck Reforged. I want the classic. I want new hero skins, new unit skins. I don't care. Give them to me. I want them. I want to select. In my Beastmaster, from my tavern, he comes out with a mohawk. Or perhaps I take the one that's got pink dreadlocks. I don't know. These are just very quick examples off the top of my head, which are for humor purposes. But I want to be able to select and unlock these things from playing the game. So putting effort into playing the game can unlock these things. Whether they make them transactable, yeah, probably maybe is going to happen. Otherwise, they're just doing this for free. That would be very generous. Maybe they can just do that so that you can just put a one-time payment for it and then you can unlock all of these things just from playing the game. That would be my preferred method. But they had so much potential with Reforged. When I play games like Direct Strike, I just really think, oh man, you play the game and you can unlock, you get credits and you can use those credits to unlock skins for the units that you put down on the board. So you can make your mortar teams look like pirates or pandas. Do you know what I mean? Like there's that creative flair, but I want that with the classic graphics. I don't want that with Reforged. I really don't.
Also, the CEO of Xbox, the Microsoft game department, was recently seen at a convention wearing a StarCraft 2 t-shirt. So even though he's one tier above the Activision development, it shows that there's at least some kind of sympathy from the CEO towards the Blizzard RTS titles. You don't wear this shirt for nothing on a big stage when you know that millions of eyes are on you. So this is a small sign that something is going in a certain Blizzard RTS direction. You don't do that without a reason. Another reason.
Phil is like, he's a corporate guy, as they all tend to be in these conferences, but he's one of the corporate guys that has actually played the games and has more of a familiarity to them, an actual personality that you can relate to. Whereas it's not like a corporate guy that says he's played these things, but you know he's lying through his teeth. This is a guy that's actually played these games and does love these games. But bear in mind, he's still a businessman and he still has, business to attend to. So it's just how much can you balance his love of gaming and keeping it for the gamers whilst trying to, make money for the investors.
To work on Warcraft
I like the guy though.
Is that NetEase is back. NetEase is was the Chinese publisher for Blizzard games for around about.
Didn't they fall out, Microsoft and NetEase? Oh, I see. Yeah, ending feud. So I guess new management managed to patch things up or something?
10 years. Last year, there was a big falling out and the partnership has ended. We've seen statues destroy in China, the entire department has been shut down, and Blizzard games weren't available for a long time. Now, after the leave of former CEO Bobby Kotick, the NetEase Blizzard relationship is more healthy again, and they have ended their feud and they're partnering up again. So why is this so important? Because China is the biggest market for Warcraft 3 for sure. While in the West, the only thing you can do to financially show your interest in Warcraft 3 is to buy a reforged key. In China, this is a little bit different. On NetEase, and they did that very, very early in 2014, they are, of course, having an eye on 1-on-1 and 2-on-2 and Melee, but the big reason for NetEase to run Warcraft 3 is custom games, because they have implemented a system where you have microtransaction in user-generated content.
I love my pick and play custom games. You know that. If there's a game where you have to use save codes from multiple players to get to a stage where you can actually play the latest stages or higher difficulties, I'm not a fan of that. I will have concerns about customs being infected by this, because then it's kind of like they're deliberately made to be played in a fashion that you have to put money down in order to be successful at them. So no matter how skilled you are, you're always going to get punished, which is the antithesis of gaming for me. So I'm not a fan of that. I'm a fan of, if you want to microtransact the skins and customs, yeah, the units, the heroes, right? You got to make money somehow if you're going to put the effort into it. Ideally a one-time payment, but here we are. We live in a different age nowadays because people keep paying for it, so it is what it is. But yeah, custom games, oof. Yeah, you're going to start getting some funky custom games where it's deliberately designed like arcade games of the old days to sort of make you pay your money.
And that is reportedly, allegedly, from what our Chinese friends are telling us, a multi-million-dollar market. Now, NetEase is back. It's been rebranded as the KK Battle Platform. And even if Blizzard is just getting a fraction of what's generated with microtransaction user-generated content in China, it's still something you want to cater to. So, we'll see. Also, recently we had a mini patch in Warcraft 3 that was improving the performance of the game. Now, unfortunately, this broke the support for Mac. While PC players are certainly a bit happier than before the patch, Mac people can't play for around 10 days. There was a blue post about this on the Battle.net forums, and Calvieri, who is the person next to KVax posting in the Warcraft 3 Battle.net forum said, the Warcraft team is actively working to resolve an issue that is causing players on Mac machines to not be able to play. The term, the Warcraft 3 team, has not been used in many, many, many years.
Because it's a guy in a broom cupboard.
We got some updates for our game. That was when PlaySide was implementing the ranked play, the custom campaigns, etc. Apart from that, we've seen balance changes. And balance changes are basically, you can imagine as an Excel file where there's like all the units are listed and their values are listed, and you change some numbers and you ship it, and the game data files have been updated, and that is an easy thing to do. Now, there was this recent patch was not an update to the game data file. It was an update to the executable of Warcraft 3, indicating that...
Can we just have a little moment just to appreciate Neo's beard? It seems like it's very well kept. I wonder if he's using some shampoo or something. It just looks very finely tuned now at this point.
That there is some engineering going on. And it is mentioned that it's the Warcraft 3 team.
Am I jealous? No. Because I wouldn't grow a beard even if I could. I can't really grow much of a beard. I can get like a moustache and a goatee. I don't really get anything on the sides. I've always been someone that doesn't like having like facial hair. So ideally, I would probably prefer to be one of those people with, is it alopecia or something like that? Where you just have all the hair off your body anyway? Because it's a nuisance to me. But he has a good beard. You can't take that away.
Another indicator that the patch that we will be seeing, the 2.0 patch, is potentially bigger than what we've seen in recent years. So, when will we get this? No clue. What is this? No clue. But we should keep our eyes out on a thing called Warcraft Direct. This year marks the 30-year anniversary of Warcraft 3. And while it was announced that there is no BlizzCon anymore, Blizzard is making a...
It can't be Warcraft 3.
This year marks the 30-year anniversary of Warcraft 3.
I think he's just used to saying Warcraft 3. He means Warcraft. Because the original Warcraft came out in 1994. Warcraft 2 came out in 1995. Can you believe that? The entire another game 1 year after release. And then you think, Warcraft 3. Was that 2002? 2001? Sort of like the original and the expansion. So even that was like 6-7 years afterwards. Warcraft 2, and now we're in 2024. So yeah, crazy, isn't it? It's just how much time has passed. But yeah, there was the BlizzCon where they talked about all the Warcraft properties, and then they basically just completely skirted over Warcraft 3. So I'm a little bit hesitant, but they might mention that they're working on this. I very much doubt they've got anything to show in such a short period of time. I'd be impressed if they've been working on this and haven't said anything, and they've got quite a lot to show, but time will tell.
And while it was announced that there is no BlizzCon anymore, Blizzard is making appearances on gaming conventions like the Tokyo Game Show and Gamescom. And at Gamescom, it was said that they have a new form of presentation for the Warcraft 3 franchise, and that is called Warcraft Direct. It's very similar to what Nintendo does with their upgrades. The developers will be showing you the updates that they have in mind for the game. This will, of course, first and foremost, be about World of Warcraft. It's pretty clear. But since it's the 30-year anniversary for the entire Warcraft franchise, we can keep our hopes up that at the Warcraft Direct, whenever this is going to be, it is not announced yet, there's no date, but if something big is happening, it will be around the time of the Warcraft Direct. With this being the 30-year anniversary, it would be very fitting to give a little bit of a gift, a little bit of a present for one of your most iconic games that you have trampled on and that you've ruined for many people with the launch of Warcraft 3 Reforged. This is the perfect moment to do something about it and to get a little bit of goodwill back from the community.
I just worked out how they're going to do it. They're going to remove Reforged and then sell Warcraft 3 again. I honestly wonder if they have the original Warcraft 3, right? Because they basically forced everyone. I know there's like pirated copies of it, but do they have like the proper coding for it anymore? Or is it all just some sort of scuffed, outsourced code that doesn't have the original intent of the actual game? So Holly Longdale is in charge of the Warcraft franchise, that being World of Warcraft mainly. And technically, Warcraft 3 falls under her umbrella, although, in all realisticness, I don't even know if she truly knows what Warcraft 3 is. It would be a case of like a boss that took over something like, say, for example, Sainsbury's, and Sainsbury's is mostly about food, right? But they also sell clothing and stuff like that. And like Warcraft 3 is kind of like the clothing. It's this bit in the corner of Sainsbury's that you can now get that you wouldn't normally be able to get before. And she's like, oh yeah, that does actually exist, but I don't really know what happens there. So I get the feeling it's kind of a bit like that. However, I wouldn't be surprised if there was potentially someone working on it, because, like I say, this is Microsoft. It's been a while now since they absolved, or old Bobby left, and Microsoft's taken over, and we know that they like to take care of their products, so there is a good chance that something could at least be mentioned. Like I say, I wouldn't be surprised if they said, "Oh, we heard your response to Reforged," because this is easy. This is an easy win essentially for Microsoft. It depends whether they make money from it, though. That's the hard bit really to know. But from a PR perspective, they say, look, we know Reforged did you dirty. You guys were upset with Reforged. Well, we're here to tell you we have Warcraft 3 not Reforged, and it's going to have this and that, and you can do that in it. You know, it's very easy PR win for them to get good bonus points to basically just adapt a game that's already fantastic and just make minor adjustments to it, not like the massive adjustments that they tried to do with Reforged. Part of the reason why that all fell apart is because when they tried to do Reforged, they had a plan to do a lot more for it, and then the budget got cut. So then you have this huge plan that you can't possibly implement, and you have like half, maybe a quarter of the time to work on it because they basically had to rush it out. The developers didn't sort of know all this stuff until too late. So, yeah, it is what it is. We'll find out.
And to please players that you disgruntled with the launch of Warcraft 3 Reforged. So, is it gonna be an add-on? Is it the missing pieces of the survey? Is it something entirely different? I really want to know in the comment section, what do you think Blizzard is cooking? What are your hopes? What are your dreams? What are your fears? What is your advice to Blizzard if they do something? We want to hear from you what you think about this, and then we will see each other soon with Warcraft 3 Reforged 2.0. Very exciting time. Thanks for watching. If you like this reporting, leave us a thumbs up. It is important for the algorithm that you leave that like and a comment so this video gets seen by more and more people.
He's right.
I will report on these updates when there are some. Thank you very much. See you soon.
Good video. Well done there, Neo. So, yep, give the man the like. I'll link the video in the description. And I was going to say, what would you guys fear the most from this? Let's start off with, if you want to play a multiplayer game without map hackers in it, you have to pay £1 per match. Otherwise, you get put in games with other map hackers and such. You could just think of like the worst case scenarios, the most egregious examples. Come up with some terrible examples if you want to write them down in the YouTube comments below. And obviously like the video as well. So thank you very much for watching. Give me your thoughts and opinions. All this stuff is very interesting to see where it goes. This could be the beginning of a new beautiful thing or a catastrophic reforging of the Reforged. Who knows? We'll find out.